Jackson Kinderman, and the Falcons find themselves flying out to a 7-0 lead on the home field. Seven nothing Southeast Guilford. A minute off the clock. Let's go ahead and get our ABC 45 News Skywatch weather game forecast from Chief Meteorologist Jonathan Went. At kickoff tonight, 78 degrees. By halftime, Mark, you and I will be a little happier, 72.
Not too bad. Football weather's good.
As the Tigers will try and bust out, cannot, shy of the 25. You know, we spoke to, as John Finley with the stop, we spoke to Antoine Stevenson earlier this week, and he told us we've got to get the ball past the 30 on kickoffs if we're going to have a consistent chance in this one. 0-for-1 tonight so far.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge part of the game is special teams. So many times we go into high school environments, and the special teams are the one area that really is more unpredictable than a lot of the other ones. We're seeing it tonight, not benefiting this Ragsdale team.
Here are the Mountain Fried Chicken starting lineups for the Ragsdale offense. The son of the head coach, Sion Stevenson, is the signal caller for these Tigers, as it'll be Barnes who takes that first handoff and gets shoved out of bounds after gaining what appeared to be a couple. Amir Barnes, 16 carries, 131 yards a week ago in the opener. Had a touchdown in that one, 2 receptions for 14 yards as well. A year ago, only 8 carries for 69 yards.
Always fun. You get into week 2 and you've got 3 100-yard rushers on the field.
Stevenson, the little slip screen. And the Tigers are starting to move the ball. Maurice Dines Jr., the backup quarterback, getting the call on the outside.
Yeah, and this is the trademark of an Antoine Stevenson offense. You want to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and you get the football out of your hands quickly in the passing game. See the screenplay there. Expect more of that here tonight with that pressure coming. They're going to be cognizant of it, and they're going to have those screenplays dialed up when they need to be.
3rd and 2 for the Tigers. Stevenson finds Diddy over the middle, takes a big hit, and has a first down. That's a Crescent Ford first down for Ragsdale. Ride to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point.
Read and react that time. Nice pickup off the ball by Stevenson. Gets it out of his hands quick. Diddy hanging over the middle. Nice easy completion that time to pick up the first.
How about that target out of the slot? If I'm Stevenson, that's where I'm looking all night long. Barnes has his number called again, able to shuffle ahead for, we'll call it a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
Just continue, if you are Southeast Guilford, to challenge that passing game of Ragsdale. You know it's not very prolific in the first win, or your first win of the season. You only threw 4 passes yourself. So put this team in a similar position where they don't want to throw the football. You give them those short downs and distances. They're going to take those all night long.
Well, how about this, Ragsdale controlling the pace of this game here early. The pitch to Barnes around the outside and is unable to escape the reach of the Falcons as Jordan Williams-Hatton able to give him a quick shove as we get a look at the Southeast Guilford defense presented by Mountain Fried Chicken, Winston-Salem's original fried chicken. It's not greasy.
Sure isn't. You see Amir Lyles right there in the middle of your screen. A little undersized, but he sticks his nose into every play. Does not matter where it is on the field, he's going to make an impact.
10 tackles a week ago in the opener against Western. His Falcons squad found itself chasing after some of those Hornets, especially quarterback play. A little surprising last week for Western, able to hang 30 points on this defense.
Right, exactly. But thank God the offense was able to explode in the second half, 38 points for the Falcons in their week 1 victory. So certainly a good sign there, but defensively, not the kind of week you want to hang your hat on if you are Southeast. Try to get back into that normalcy of shutting your opponent down this week.
3rd down for the Tigers yet again. This Tiger squad seems to be chipping away ever so slightly at yardage, finds itself in 3rd and short yet again. Stevenson to the boundary. That one is complete and good for another 1st down. It's Anthony Washington Jr. And that crescent forward 1st down for Ragsdale. Right to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point.
Spencer, you brought the down a distance. It's where they live. It's where they want to be at all times. 3rd and short, they're going to get the football out quick. That time it's a quick scan for Stevenson firing out on the edge. Completion.
Listen, Mark, you know this better than most as Barnes gets the call through the middle and able to gain about 4. Antoine Stevenson, he's not just coaching quarterbacks because his son is the quarterback. This is a guy that put a quarterback into Division I, Shrine Bowl quarterback, and Stephon Brown back at Glenn.
Yeah, and he has always done this. I mean, this is his wheelhouse. Get his guys to not just understand the offense, but anticipate and really get into a rhythm with it.
Stevenson drops back, has time, now is thrown down and sacked. It'll be Xavier Wallace.
Crashing through. Straight up the middle that time. Stevenson looked like he wanted to take a shot down the field. You got to stay disciplined defensively. Understand, for all those short plays that they want to go through the air, get the football out quick, they are going to take some shots. And they're going to be deep down the field when they have an opportunity. You've got to get back there defensively. Xavier Wallace stayed in his lane, won his battle, and wins the play.
2 games, 2 sacks for Wallace. Now 3rd and long for the Tigers. As that one is complete to Washington again, gets back in between the sticks. It will not be enough, but in high school football, this is kind of no man's land. Do you punt or do you not?
No, I think they stay on the field. And really, that play didn't pick up the 1st down. It wasn't particularly close, but it gives them a chance here on 4th down. It opens up the playbook a little bit more than it would have if they were another 2 or 3 yards back. So great effort on the outside to pick up those extra yards and give your offense a chance.
4th down for Ragsdale. Option. Barnes down the sideline, has the Crescent Ford 1st down and more. And the Tigers keep the drive alive.
2nd time on this drive that they've run that speed option to the outside. The defense, respecting Stevenson's ability to run, goes down inside, and there is no one on the edge for Barnes. That is wide open. Great play call in that situation by this Ragsdale coaching staff.
The sophomore stands at just 5'8", $175. I got to tell you, Mark, he has tremendous balance. You see it as he's shifting all over the grass, kept his footing, really able to make guys work to try and stop him. That one incomplete over the middle, intended for Anthony Washington Jr. But just really impressed with Barnes, impressed with all the running backs in this ball game.
We've seen the last couple of years a lot of running backs in the area that don't have that prototypical size you're looking for, right? Comes to mind Mitchell Summers out of Grimsley the last several years, over 6,000 yards. Big-time player, but undersized. You find them throughout the area, and there are a lot of good running backs at that stature who can make a lot of plays on the field.
Well, we're going to hear from our referee, Dale Proctor, for the first time tonight. As the Falcons flew south just a little too quick.
A little excited. Got to hold your water. Again, an offense like this that wants to be in these shorter situations. You give up those free yards after you get the incompletion on 1st down.
Barnes stopped there. Tonight's game also being streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook page, sponsored by Tip Top Roofing. Tip Top Roofing, faith, family, football, and roofing.
Big third down. Defensively, you got to stay stout here. Respect the deep shot, but you've got to cover underneath.
Another third down situation for this Ragsdale squad. Continues to work down the field methodically. Stevenson over the middle, completes it to Washington, and that will be good for another Crescent Ford first down. The Tigers moving on down.
Yep, shuffling their way down the field ever so slightly, very methodically at that. Really, though, wanted to see a little bit more aggression on that play. Jordan Williams-Hayden is out there on the edge at corner, and he kind of just sat back. And if he attacks that football, you have a chance to break it up, at least with a hit, potentially getting your hands on the ball as well. But those are the kind of plays, as the game goes on, you've got to settle in and realize if they're going to go short, you've got to be in an attacking mindset defensively.
And the Tigers have entered the Cook Rentals red zone. Cook Rentals in 5 convenient locations across North Carolina. The pass is complete to Diddy as he reaches for the 5-yard line, and the Tigers are within striking distance.
Nice little play there. Again, over the top. It's just that hang route sitting right there. There's no one home for the Falcons defensively. Tried to get a hand up that time. It's one-on-one on the outside. And Diddy's right there to make that play.
Coming up on the 16th play of the drive. Ragsdale's first opportunity on offense. And this was one thing you and I spoke about before the game, that Ragsdale had to set the tone and the pace of play in this game to have
100%,
a chance.
100%.
Stevenson, the slant, and it's intercepted! Here come the Falcons as Jordan Williams-Hayden able to snag it and end the threat.
Atonement doesn't come up and bring the fourth down stop earlier in the drive. Can't break up that pass, but this time just a little off target. And in the end zone, those windows get tighter. Defense doesn't have to react nearly as fast and cover as much space that time. Off and running out of the end zone.
Coming up at the half, it's this week's Medical Minute presented by North Carolina DHHS, NCDHHS, managing the delivery of health and human-related services for all North Carolinians. Jaden Graves back in the shotgun after the timeout taken on the field. Ball stays on the ground to Motley, and he is wrapped up and brought down as a whole pack of Tigers able to swarm to the football. That's something Antoine Stevenson mentioned to us earlier in the week. One guy can't make the tackles. These Falcons, they'll bust free.
Talked about the trademarks of an Antoine Stevenson offense being the quick passing game and running the football relentlessly. Trademarks of his defensive style, swarming to the football, getting those gang tackles, getting ball carries to the ground quick and in a hurry.
Brings up second and long. Reverse. And here comes Motley. Nassim Motley to midfield where he's tripped up. He had that tremendous kick return to begin the ball game, and now getting a little end-around action.
So you have one Motley in the backfield who ran for clear over 100 yards last week. That's bad enough. Then you have another Motley on the outside who can hurt you with his wheels just as well. That's not what you want to see defensively.
Who put up 0 statistics a week ago.
Yep.
Just shows you how deep this Earl Bates team is.
A lot of weapons, not just in the backfield, but very clearly on the outside as well. They will hurt you and attack you in a multitude of ways.
Motley the motion man, and some extra motion on the outside as Tyler Nichols jumped. Only one guy in motion at a time, Mark.
You can't be any of the guys wearing the big numbers up front.
If there's anybody that knows that, it's you and me.
We can dream, Spencer. We can dream.
Listen.
Always did.
When you and I got asked to pull and go kick out somebody, that was the best. That's about the only motion we had.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're actually getting to take off and sprint for once. And you probably get someone there who doesn't even see you coming.
It's Jackson. He rumbles across midfield and gets the Falcons back into Tiger territory.
Very much like the 1-2 punch of Motley and Jackson. Motley, it's a classic thunder-lightning combo, isn't it? You see Jackson go in there, he lowers his shoulder on the run there. Motley has a speed. Jackson certainly has speed as well, as advised by the long touchdown run on the first drive of the game. But it's a nice complement to each other. They both run hard. They bring different styles to the field as well. And it gives defenses different looks and different things to worry about along the way.
You know, I'll give the kids a little TikTok reference. I think Jackson is the AJ and Big Justice of the Southeast Guilford squad. He's going to bring the boom.
Boy, oh, Lord. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now we're reaching. Now we're reaching. Jackson, good run, though, that time. Again, just brings that power, keeps those legs churning. Such a nice compliment to each other between the two backs in the backfield. You can't say enough, even though we're only into the second week of the season, what they're able to do in week 1, rushing for just about 300 yards combined and 3 touchdowns is impressive enough.
3rd and short for the Falcons. Jackson through the middle, breaking free and tripped up at around the 25. He's got that Crescent Ford first down and more. Crescent Ford of High Point, go grab yourself a new F-150 today.
In the middle of that offensive line this time was the reason that that play was able to take place. You keep your running back on his track in the middle of that field, and he doesn't have to break off whatsoever. That means your big guys up front did their job, opening up a running lane. Makes it easy for a guy like Caleb Jackson to burst through into the secondary.
Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Southeast Guilford. Jackson again, dragged down from behind by Kingston Chandler. Able to gain about 1.5 yards. And that should do it for quarter number 1. Southeast Guilford leading it 7-0. As we get a look at the Beatty Plumbing fan cam. Beatty Plumbing, a straight flush beats a full house. We'll take a timeout. Back for the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals, presented by Caring Hands Home Health. After this on My 48. We're back with tonight's winning row. Everyone on tonight's winning row will receive free tickets to the Carolina Classic Fair, October 3rd through October 12th. The Carolina Classic Fair, born to be wild. Tickets available online now. 7-0 Southeast Guilford over Ragsdale here at Bill Slayton Athletic Field. It's Motley still churning his legs, and he is into the Cook Rentals red zone. Cook Rentals renting the smart way to get things done.
Spencer, this was a defensive line last week in Ragsdale that had a pretty good game. Several tackles for loss, 9, I believe, off the top of my head. A lot of plays in the backfield, good penetration up front. They have to be key tonight to stopping this drive and stopping any future ones as well, limiting them as much as possible. Strong ground attack they're going against, but they've got to be the strong unit up front that they are and show they are in week one.
Especially in the first half. Shut out Southern Guilford in half number 1. Here's Motley again, able to keep moving, and is inside the 10, tripped up at around the 7. That'll be good for another first down. Tip Top Roofing first down. Tip Top Roofing. Faith Family Football and Roofing.
Solid run to get down inside the 10. Drive continues. These running backs continue to churn out those long yards after contact.
First and goal. Here's Jackson. And he is stuffed. Sam Klutz, the sophomore, able to lower his shoulder and keep Jackson out of the end zone for the second time tonight.
Maybe one too many times targeting the middle of that defense. This time, right play call there. Everyone does their assignment. There are plenty of dudes in the middle of that defense that can make that play alone, much less together. They stonewalled Jackson that time.
Well, history lesson 2, presented by Mark. Jackson again, stopped again. That middle of the defensive line for Ragsdale coming up big right now. Jeremiah Rory, the senior, stuffing things up.
Almost on cue, right? Said about how they had to put a stop to this drive. They need to be the unit that steps up defensively and makes an impact so your backers can flow freely, They don't have blockers on them, and your secondary could do much of the same if they need to come down and make a play, which they will need to do here tonight. They've got to be phenomenal up front to come away with a win tonight.
3rd and goal. From just inside the 5. Play clock running low, and the second timeout burned by Southeast Guilford. Earl Bates takes that headset off and looks frustrated, to say the least. We'll take a timeout. We'll see what the Falcons have after this. Stay tuned for the My 48 halftime report. We'll have this week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar athletes, interviews with the coaches, school principals, and more. My 48 Sports, your home for local sports. 9:20 to go in the first half. Southeast Guilford facing 3rd and goal from the 4. Quarterback keeper Graves barrels into the end zone. Touchdown Falcons. That's a rent-a-home with a triad touchdown. Rent-a-home with a triad, where property owners and tenants find their perfect fit.
Didn't see lots of Jaden Graves running the football last week. Really, we didn't need to. Again, almost 300 yards between your two running backs. Quarterback-wise, you don't have to do too much offensively, but that time Graves calls his own number, gets a caravan in front of him, and is able to cut inside. Good read running the football and getting into the end zone.
Had just 3 carries a week ago, as Kinderman splits the uprights and puts the Falcons ahead 14-0 with 9:14 to go here in quarter number 2. Everybody thought Jackson was the man. Turns out it's Graves.
Really nice job. Just look at the concept here. You get your guys pulling up front. I already talked about that, teased it a little bit. Bryce Benton is able to pull outside. You see the drop in his pull there, allows him to get depth and circle and allows him to get his eyes up the field. A better job of framing it up so you know where exactly you need to go to. And a really nice job by Graves following Benton down the field, follows him along the way, makes the right cut back inside and scores.
12 plays, 81 yards in 7 minutes and 23 seconds to make the score 14-0. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed because we've now had a 17-play drive and a 12-play drive in a Friday night game. That is sheer dominance.
In the first half.
In the first half.
It's the only 2 scoring drives we've had so far. But, ho-hum, this is exactly what the Falcons do. They love to run the football out of a spread formation relentlessly down your throat. And there is, through the first 5.5 quarters of the season, nothing anyone has been able to do to stop them.
It's Washington. He'll scamper around, finds a little room, comes all the way back to the 15. Can he break the tackle? No. Gets chased down from behind by Braylon Bates, the son of Earl Bates.
Not a bad play. Dad's got to be proud of the sideline. That's great pursuit off the backside, relentless chasing Washington down from behind.
Tonight's game also being streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook page, sponsored by Tip Top Roofing. Tip Top Roofing, faith, family, football, and roofing. We've got 2 sons of head coaches in this ballgame. Braylon Bates, as you see on your screen, Zion Stevenson, the quarterback for Ragsdale, the guy he's trying to stop right now. And we spoke to both head coaches about what that's like coaching their sons. And they said when they're on that gridiron, they're a player.
That's a player.
When we're in the car, that's when mom's in charge. Amir Barnes gets chased down from behind and will lose a couple.
I think it's interesting that the two of them actually play prominent roles on their respective teams as well. There's a lot of times you'll see coaches' sons out there and they'll be playing for sure, and you know there's different reasons for that. We'll let you discuss that on your own at home as you watch the game. But these are two guys that go out there, compete, and they have a major impact on how their team does on Friday night.
Well, Braylon Bates a week ago, 9 tackles in the opener. Stevenson, a leader. You know, what I love about Zion Stevenson, this is a young man that, as he launches it over the middle and incomplete, intended for Aiden Young. Last year, his dad helped him make his varsity debut and said, you know what, son, why don't you go in there against Grimsley? Go figure it out.
Go figure it out.
Just threw him right in the fire. Didn't try and make it an easy one. He said, you know what? You go figure it out against the #1 team in the state.
Baptism by blast fire. Could have said it better myself, Spencer. It's just a situation where experience. You get those reps in, and there's going to be a lot, especially early on, for the vast majority of players that are going to hurt, and they're going to be a learning experience. But that's what you get them in there for, so they can see, especially against a team like a Grimsley, what the peak is, where the bar is, where you need to be at the top of your game within this state.
3rd down. The handoff goes to Matthew Dice. He is stopped short of that 1st down marker. And it looks like the punt unit will trot out onto the field.
In the way that offense stayed out there for a second, I really thought that they were going to go for it.
That was seeing if your dad would flinch. That's what that was.
Just hang out, see how he reacts to it. Obviously, Antoine has seen his fair share of games and knows exactly what to do in this situation. Get your special teams out there and let them flip field position.
It'll be Best back to receive for Southeast. And now a delay of game against Ragsdale. Those couple of seconds with the offense on the field might have cost them.
Yep, procedures. And especially in a circumstance where you can't allow to give up more yards where you are on the field. Now you got to look at your returners. They're up close to midfield at this point for Southeast.
Nice end over end punt. The fair catch called for, bobbled. Ball is on the deck, and we'll wait to see who has it. It looked like Southeast might have recovered, and that's exactly what happened as Joshua Penn was able to fall on it. But it looked like Nassim Motley bumped into Lamel Best there and didn't know that his teammate had called for the fair catch.
Oh, you gotta know. There's 2 guys back there, but there was one significantly further up front than the other. They've got to have that communication back there. And think about it, almost like baseball, where the center fielder has reign over almost anything. He calls for it, it's his ball. It's got to be the same thing for the deep man on that return unit. Whatever he says goes. And if he doesn't give you that call or tells you to go get it, you get away from that football.
Here's Motley on the end around, and he's going to get stopped by his undershirt.
Sometimes it's just about enjoying the ride, right? Hang on for dear life, and you'll get one of them down at some point. Nice play, though. Hit him down. Bryson Covington making the play there, but Motley again on the outside. Trying to get him those touches. Nothing to show up on the stat sheet. It literally last week. So you're trying to get another dynamic part of this offense going here. And on that play, nothing doing thanks to the likes of Bryson Covington.
And you know what? A veteran play by Tyler Nichols there to just get him down to the ground before that ball could get stripped. Southeast Guilford, 15 carries, 140 yards. End around again. Motley loses his balance as he crosses the 40 and gets shoved out of bounds right around the 42. So it appears to be just inside the sticks.
So close to breaking that one potentially. Motley makes a fantastic cut between two defenders. That is a next level cut up the field. The next part of that is keeping your balance, holding on to that speed and able to contain it in a way that you can keep your balance and keep getting your way down the field. But now 3rd and down. Long to go. You got to wonder, this is the first real time tonight we've seen this offense in this position.
Really the first time this season. Graves rolls out, throws downfield, and completes the pass. Joshua Penn able to haul it in.
Not that little play action, rolls out and throws almost a little bit back towards the middle of the field. A little awkward throw, but Penn open enough in the middle of the field. Good recognition that time by Graves to get that football out down the field and find the open man.
And that's a tip-top roofing 1st down.
For a team that does not throw the ball a whole lot, Spencer, that was a well-executed and a good-looking play as well.
Option, Graves the keeper. And that Tiger front able to close up all the lanes. Bryson Covington with the stop. You know, part of being a successful rushing team like Southeast is being able to throw that dime every once in a while to drop that 8th or 9th guy out of the box.
I think for both of these teams, the question is, when do you throw it? That's the first question. The second one is, maybe it's less of a question, but when you do and you take those shots down the field, you've got to make them count because you don't have many of them over the course of a game.
It's Motley again. He's off to the races and in for 6. Travis Motley gives Southeast Guilford a 20-0 lead here in the first half with that rent-a-home of the Triad touchdown.
Bends and just bends and bends and just goes to the backside. And once he gets loose, Motley's going to make the most of those opportunities. He's got the speed to win almost any foot race he gets into. There was no stopping him once he broke open into the clear, and the offensive line does a great job washing down to the right side, allows Motley to bend back to the left and outrace everybody to the end zone.
The sophomore, Kinderman, punches it in for the extra point, but Travis Motley, the junior, beats them all and finds the promised land. Here. I'm good with this. During the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when that stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. And right now, the red lights are flashing for that Southeast Guilford defense. They're pitching a shutout right now. You see the Falcon in the stands enjoying himself.
Spencer, I got to tell you something. It's a good-looking high school mascot.
It really is.
Yeah.
I appreciate the tie.
Yep.
You know, he's dressed for the occasion, but
sure
also here for the party.
That's the theme tonight, it looks like. Just seems, pretty well done for a high school mascot costume. You got to give respect to where you got to give respect.
No doubt.
That last picture point, Jackson
Also, I want to give a shout out. Both bands are here tonight.
Yeah.
You got to love when you stay in the county and both bands are able to make an appearance. Here come the Tigers, keeping it on the ground. It was Demetrius Kersey, the 5'10", 205 sophomore. His first carry of the season. That's a guy, when you just take a look down on that sideline, you're like, man, he could do some damage.
I sure can. And when we were talking to Antoine before the game, he noted sometimes this week, you got to mix it up. You come off the tough loss last week to open the season, and a lot of the times you've got to make a decision already at that point. How do you approach that next week? Do you continue to drive it into the guys that we need to get better? Or you back off a little bit, understand that they know that, and they're going to drive and strive to get better in that way. And Antoine exactly took that approach of switching it up, letting them know, like, hey, guys, we just got to get right. We got to execute better, but not constantly, like a better term, beating a dead horse with it. They know what happened last week. They wanted to come out here and have a better effort, and it sounded like they had a good week of practice. Just right now, those results are not showing up.
At halftime, here this week's Medical Minute presented by NCDHHS. NCDHHS, managing the delivery of health and human-related services for all North Carolinians. And it looks like Braylon Bates was the injured Falcon down on the field. He appears to be okay as he's walking off under his own power. He'll head to the medical evaluation area. Well, we got word earlier today that one of the Falcons' starting defensive backs out for the season. So just a little more of a hit to that defense. As the Tigers will go back to the ground game and right back to Kersey. And he carried a whole flock of Falcons there.
To wrap up that point before about switching things up, sometimes that also means personnel. Give someone else the football, see if they can make something happen. Right now, on 2 carries on this drive to open it up, Kersey's done a nice job of moving the pile forward and getting those extra yards after contact.
Kersey again. He is ahead past the 45. He lost the football, and it'll be Falcons ball. Khalil McKee came away with it.
Nice strip. Trying to fight, just as we said that. Johnny on the spot, fighting for those extra yards. And that football gets poked out somewhere along the way in the crowd. You see him just fighting over and over. Oh, boy, his knee's down. He was down.
Oh. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one, for sure. And he was coming off the field pleading his case on it.
Joshua Williams-Hatton with the strip. And now it's Southeast Guilford back on offense. And those Tigers just laid a hurting on Jackson. They seem a little peeved after that call.
A little irritated, I'm sure. I mean, a couple of them, I'm certain, saw that play and thought, oh, he's down. And rightfully so there, but not with the advantage of replay at the high school level. We may have it here in the booth, but they do not have it on the field. A fortunate circumstance in those plays, and a night that nothing has worked so far, nothing has gone right for the Ragsdale Tigers, just continues to stockpile.
But you know what? Let's just be honest about the situation, Mark. You and I do plenty of college games, too. And even with replay, they still don't get it right.
That's true.
Southeast breaks free into Tiger territory. Good for another Tip-Top Roofing first down.
It's the 9th first down.
9th first down of the evening for the Falcons as they continue to control this game.
Dominance up front right now. It's starting with those big guys, the 5 along the offensive line, any of your tight ends. They are going to work and blocking their butts off of these running backs.
Jackson has the hole, hits it hard, crosses the 35, and is down at the 34. When we spoke with Earl Bates at Media Day about a month ago, he said flat out, the strength of my team is my offensive line.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, and you've seen it so far tonight. I mean, they have been moving bodies. They have been pushing the line of scrimmage back, changing it in a positive way for their team. And really, even on a run like that, that's tight, and the defense knows it's going there. Jackson did not get touched until he was on the second level. That's a testament to your guys up front doing their jobs and executing as one body.
2nd and 2. end around. It's Motley, turns the corner, takes a big hit, but he earns that first down and keeps the drive alive for Southeast. That's another Tip-Top Roofing first down. You know what's amazing, Mark, is Southeast is yet to punt this season.
You see why? Just controlling the clock. They're putting themselves in a position every single drive where they can go get a run because of the aforementioned offensive line, because of the aforementioned running backs, because the execution, even at this point in the year, has been so sharp. They haven't had an opportunity to really punt the football yet.
Graves drops it off to the outside, has Best down the sideline. Can he get in? He's in! Touchdown! Falcons! That's a rent-a-home of the Triad touchdown. Rent-a-home of the Triad, where property owners and tenants find their perfect fit.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That's exactly what just happened there. Southeast Guilford saw the screens that Ragsdale had run to this point. They do one of their own, an annihilation block on the outside by Martin. And then down the field, it's Bess's speed down the sideline, racing a defender and beating him to the pylon. What a play, what a drive, and what a first half for these Falcons of Southeast Guilford.
Well, we've got crowd push-ups in the student section. 27 of them so far, and it's just the first half.
Knock it out early. Just get knocked out early.
Well, it looks like Best is the holder. He's going to come off. Graves is going to come on. Best needed a breather.
Yeah. Well-deserved one at that.
High snap, bobbled. Graves takes the hit, and the PAT is no good. Probably the first thing that has gone wrong all night for Southeast, and you definitely don't want your starting quarterback to be the guy that takes that hit.
Certainly not. Not exactly where you want to be, having your guy out there taking a hit like that. High snap, throws everything off. Graves trying to get it down, just cannot get it there. And then a shot on the kicker, no less. Hello.
And how about this? Southeast so far, 20 carries for 201 yards. In last year's game against Ragsdale, 279 yards rushing, so on pace to top that.
Yeah.
And Jackson, 11 carries, 112 yards, so that's 2 games in a row over 100 yards rushing.
Spencer, you can talk to me about any sort of game plan out there. You can tell me how good the team that ran the ball well was against how bad the team that they were playing was. Anytime your team collectively is going off for almost 11 yards a carry in a game, and there's 33 of those carries, that's insane. And that's what they did in week 1, and it's been a continuation of that point here in week 2. The execution has been top-notch week to week so far, and what a foundation these Falcons are building offensively at the start of the 2025 season.
The Tigers mishandle that kickoff. Ball comes loose. Southeast jumps on it. And the Falcons are going to start this drive from the red zone as Khalil McKee, who came up with the first fumble recovery, has it yet again.
Nightmare scenario. Just thinking with 1 minute left, just over it. You had a couple timeouts if you're Ragsdale. Not where you want to be, but you still have a chance offensively. And, man, just stripping the football out, it gets out of his body and able to strip that away. And another turnover, another mishap by Ragsdale.
And it looks like John Finley is down for Ragsdale. Going to try and get up. This Tiger squad young, feisty but young. Antoine Stevenson described them as a resilient. They're going to need to try and find it within themselves at halftime to bounce back and make this thing a game.
Well, and that's what it's going to be, at least conversation-wise, when you go into the half. Just knowing, hey, guys, we're not in the position we want to be in. We're not in the position that we thought we would be in at this point in the game. That doesn't matter. You control what you can control. Oldest coach's adage in the book, possibly. Control the controllables. That's what you have to do. You come out of halftime. Well, really, not even halftime. You still have 1 minute and 3 seconds left here in the first half. Your defense has been on the field a lot, but you're asking them, hey, let's stand up. You have an opportunity here to get off the field without allowing a touchdown. Let's take an opportunity here to grow, get better together, and eventually that youth is going to turn into experience. The more they play together and develop that chemistry and just become better individually, it'll change. But when you've got a young roster that is still a relatively new coaching staff like Antoine Stevenson and his staff are to Ragsdale, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be a little bumps and bruises along the way.
For sure. And the tough part for this young Tiger team is things do not get easier after next week. You have Andrews, and then you've got a gauntlet. East Forsyth, Dudley, Page, Grimsley.
Probably not the best. But we already touched on Dudley, right? It's one of those situations where you're going to play those teams in a 4-week stretch that no one is going to be jealous of by any stretch of the imagination. East Forsyth just as good as they always are. We saw Grimsley last week, and they beat arguably the number 2 team in the state in West Charlotte. And Dudley is always as deadly as they always are.
Yep.
So it is a gauntlet, like you said, Spencer. And it's one that's going to be tough, admittedly. If you be real about the situation, it's going to be a tough stretch to go through for anyone on Ragsdale's team, whether it's staff, player, anyone. But one of those ones where you hope to see a lot of growth by the time those 4 weeks are over if you're this coaching staff from your players across the board.
Finley helped up by our White Cat tonight, Dale Proctor, and he's going to be escorted off the field.
I believe it's 17.
That's a tough sight to see,
Tiger on flight number 17, John Finley.
as he looks like he is struggling. Wish him the best here. You never want to see any of these young men get hurt. He can put no pressure on that right foot.
No. A lot of sacrifice. Regardless of who the team is, you go through the end of the season, last October, November, or December. You go all the way through the off season. You practice, you prep, you train. Every single part of your body, your mind, your spirit. It's tough.
We're back to the action in the Cook Rentals red zone, renting the smart way to get things done. As Southeast, first and goal to begin this drive. The handoff to Jackson, and he is tackled at the 5. Southeast only one timeout remaining.
But content right now.
Jackson again, stopped again. Well, this is one of those things that could be a momentum builder for Ragsdale if you get a stop here and prevent a touchdown.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Again, you have an opportunity here to at least try to stop this team. Hasn't been the first half that you wanted, but it could be the drive that you've needed up to this point to get something to build on. Going to halftime, guys, we have a little bit of momentum on our side. Let's continue to build on that.
Timeout taken. So Southeast on third down. Earl Bates says enough of this. You better find pay dirt.
Yeah. Take that timeout, regroup. Help yourself out here. The first half waning down. But I think it is a very interesting conversation with Southeast Guilford because they've been so dominant here early on that you can't ignore the kind of production they've put up so far. When you have two backs that have almost 300 yards in week one, and they come back out and they have had a near flawless first half. I mean, they have absolutely shredded this defense in every sense of the word, running the football from distance, in close quarters, and everything in between. They have been nearly unstoppable on the ground so far here tonight.
So So 3rd and goal. From the 3. Play action. Graves rolling out, lofts it to the end zone, and completes the pass to Joshua Penn. Put another 6 on the board. Touchdown, Falcons.
How about that? 3 catches tonight. Already 2 more than they had in week 1. And 2 touchdowns as well to go along with it. Penn had the crucial catch on 3rd down earlier in the half to keep a touchdown drive alive. And this time, wide open in the back of the end zone on the rollout. Good recognition by Graves. Staying patient, letting everything clear, and the receivers work their routes.
And after the rent-to-home of the Triad touchdown, the card says to go for 2. And Jackson confirms that that was the right decision.
Back on track now, as if the extra point missed never happened. 35-0. What execution up front to get Jackson into the end zone for that 2-point conversion. He just throws the shoulders up, a little shrug a la MJ. Right in the middle of the end zone.
Rent a home of the Triad, where property owners and tenants find their perfect fit. And right now, that Southeast Guilford run game and this offensive line seem like the perfect fit.
No, they've been spectacular tonight. And look, the former offensive lineman, you got to love seeing bodies get displaced, pushed around, line of scrimmage change, whether it's offensively or defensively, but it's so tough up front when you have those 5 guys working together. They've got to move as one body. And if there's any sort of trip up, mental lapse in there, it can ruin an entire play just like that. They have been flawless here this evening.
And here comes Ragsdale with a return. It'll be Amari Smith stepping in. And Jackson Kinderman on the stop. You know, last week, Earl Bates told us that his kicker, Jackson Kinderman, had 2 big tackles, 2 big stops. Well, there's a 3rd one right there.
Yeah. He would get out there and make a play.
Sophomore, 5'8", $142, laying it all out there on the line.
A football player is a football player is a football player. Size does not matter when it comes to that spectrum. This guy's going out there and playing football. Doesn't matter the size.
22 seconds to go. Stevenson over the middle, almost intercepted by Braylon Bates. The intended receiver was Brody Diddy.
Bates had it read. He had the football in his hands. You got to come down with that interception. You get an opportunity like that. It's a little too far out of the reach of Diddy that time. Bates had a gimme there that he could have taken back at least a little bit and given his offense another chance.
Stevenson dumps it off. He's got Barnes, tries to turn upfield. Does for a few. Time will continue to tick, and that should do it for the first half of play here in Greensboro. 35-0. Southeast Guilford putting on a show for the home fans here at Bill Slayton Athletic Field. Mark, your thoughts on half number 1?
Team in orange and white handled their business in half number 1. Executed like they should have up front on both sides of the football. Key takeaways throughout the first half as well. You cannot say enough about how Earl Bates and his team performed in half number 1 of this football game.
Oh, the Falcons in control. Let's go ahead and send it to the 3rd member of our team, Matthew Gibson. He's standing by with the head coach of Southeast, Earl Bates.
Coach Bates, your team scored 5 touchdowns in the first half, averaging 11 yards on the ground per carry, and they also forced 3 turnovers on defense. From the outside looking in, you played a perfect first half, but what do you think your team can do to improve going into to end this game?
Well, again, we feel good about what we're doing up front on the offensive line. We gave up some plays to the run game, but our defense, being that didn't break philosophy, and then we got turnovers, so they're doing a tremendous job getting the ball back to us, and hey, we can keep doing the same thing. We feel good.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Back to you.
Throughout the 2025 Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rival season, Tatum & Atkinson Law Firm will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each of the participating schools with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Tatum & Atkinson Scholar Athletes are from Southeast Guilford High School, Addison Taylor. Southeast's Addison Taylor has played 3 sports in her high school career. She has lettered in lacrosse the last 3 years and has been named Max Prep's Player of the Game. Addison has also played JV volleyball and tennis for the Falcons. She currently holds a 5.0 weighted GPA. She is the senior class president and has received the AP Scholar Award from the College Board the last 2 years. Addison is heavily involved in her community through NJROTC and participates in Adopt a Highway and campus cleanups. And from Ragsdale High School, Braylon Lewis. Ragsdale's Braylon Lewis is a 3-sport athlete for the Tigers. He's a captain on the varsity football team, a member of the varsity basketball team, and on the varsity baseball team. He is on the National Honor Society, was a junior marshal, and currently holds a 4.54 weighted GPA. In Braylon's spare time, he volunteers at a local food pantry and is a youth sports coach to mentor young athletes. Addison, Braylon, and other nominated students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Tatum & Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week. Sponsored by Tatum & Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck? Call the Heavy Hitters.
Welcome back to the My 48 Halftime Report. I'm here with Principal Christopher Scott of Southeast High School. Principal Scott, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is so great about attending Southeast High School?
Well, at Southeast, we believe in doing great things, and the people who do those great things are our staff and our students. And one of the things that we do here at Southeast is we believe in everything that our students can do, right? So I'm going to turn over to them to talk about what's great about our school.
I would say the things that are great about Southeast is the positive attitudes, the education, the good teachers, and the excitement and the thrill.
Love it. It's just a great environment to be in. I love coming here every day.
I love all my friends, the students, everything. It's just, I like it.
All right, I love it. So my next question is for everybody, if that's the case. All right, what do you love about the Friday Night Lights?
I love the excitement from the student section, the great cheerleaders, and the loudness and the boys.
The student section is the best part of the Friday Nights. We're lit up there. Ain't nobody better.
Basically what he said, like the themes, everything, hype, yeah.
I see you got the themes. It sounds like you're losing your voice, so it sounds like it's a great time. Doing a great job. Principal Scott, thank you for your time and thank you for being here with us. Stay tuned for more of your My 48 halftime report coming up next.
Go Falcons! Go Falcons!
Welcome back to the My 48 halftime report. I'm here with Principal Noelle Keener of Ragsdale High School. She's here with a few of her students. So I have a question for all of you. What are you most excited about on this football team?
I am so excited for Ragsdale football this year. I can't wait for my young men to get out there on the field and show the camaraderie and the hard work that they've been putting in, both in the school building as well as on the field.
I am very excited for the football team. Last year we had a pretty good year and we're in an even better conference this year. I'm so excited for them and I am very excited as well for our bands. We're going to do great.
I'm excited for our halftime show. I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see how we sound, how we look, and I'm excited to see the students' reaction as well as the staff and the parents and everybody else.
I'm excited for everybody to see our new band. We're back. We're bigger than ever. We capped at 50, so I'm just really excited for everyone to see it.
That's awesome. There's a lot of excitement and things happening. So could you tell me a little bit more about the impact of Ragsdale football on the school culture?
Yes, so Ragsdale, we are on the come up in every way, on the fields, on the courts, in our academics, but we found it takes us all. We need our family, we need our students, we need our staff to all come together with our community to help us all win in whatever we choose to do in life.
I love that. Speaking of family, speaking of community, how important is family and community to the Ragsdale culture and what you are building at your school?
I mean, we can't do it without them. Without them, there is no us. And so we've got to have that support, and we've got to let them know that we care about their children and we care about them too.
Absolutely. Wishing you the best of the luck this school year. Thank you, ladies, for being a part of this. Stay tuned for your My 48 halftime report coming up next.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Sweet wide pump fakes, goes end zone wide open, and that's one-handed catch. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll tell you that you're going to watch the defender falls down, and Sheffield still has to make a spectacular grab.
Allen rolling, has time if he wants to run. Rolling has a guy over the middle. It's intercepted right into the hands of Logan Steele, and he's gone. No one will catch the long jump gold medalist, and the second in the 100, Logan Steele.
Oh, new running back in the ball game, and he got tattooed and suplex. Speaking of wrestling, that was bad enough right there. And then, bam.
Big number 90, Maurice Horry right there. He got his money.
Wolf fires downfield. He has a man, but lobs it up. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's picked off by Manheim Township. Coming up and making the interception is Dixon. It was a 50-50 ball, and Dixon comes up and has the INT. Dixon, the 5.
Does it get off? Ready, go. Off the line of scrimmage. Look at the speed, the quickness. Good recovery there. Gets it back over to the sideline. Execution for Champ.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services is proud to present you with this Medical Minute.
My name is Andrew Dotson. I'm a peer support specialist here at Phoenix Counseling Center. As a young man, 18 years old, I joined the military, went to Afghanistan in 2012, went through some hard situations, saw some things that were traumatizing. At a young age, I began to self-medicate with alcohol. I didn't know how to cope with what I saw. So alcohol turned into drugs. I lost so much. I lost my family, I lost my marriage. Room 105 was where I stayed last time I was a patient here, right before I got ready to really get sober. I look at that room and I never forget where I come from. The first step in recovery is walking through the door and saying I need help. When it comes to addiction, sometimes we just can't be strong enough and we have to have the strength of other people.
It's okay to need support. No matter your crisis, you have options. Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to the My 48 Halftime Report. I'm here with Lillian Craven, the marketing and brand manager for the Carolina Classic Fair. Lillian, talk about some of the new things that are happening this year at the fair.
Our biggest thing is that we're going to have our ice rink open. It's going to be a QRC ice arena. We're really excited. We're going to have lots of fan favorites like monster trucks, hot dog eating competition. We're going to have a live Lego building competition, so it's going to be a great 10 days.
It sounds like a great time. Where can people buy tickets?
You can buy tickets at CarolinaClassicFair.com, as well as via all of our entertainment and all everything else we've got going on at the fair.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Spencer.
I think Illinois is up 21-0. Welcome back to Southeast Guilford, the Patriot Pretzel halftime contest. As we get set for half number 2, we're back after this. It's the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals. Matthew in Greensboro. Southeast Guilford in control against Ragsdale, 35-0 in week 2. Carolina Classic Fair Friday night rivals on My 48. Mark, the ground game for Southeast Guilford got it going early.
Everywhere, all the time, all at once, all half long. You were watching an assault on the ground by the Falcons, offensively and through the air defensively. Stout stopping a potential touchdown drive for Ragsdale in the end zone with the interception by Hatter there. And keeper out to the side. One of the many touchdowns on the ground in the first half, but a couple through the air as well. But not before another touchdown for Motley getting into the end zone. Just an impressive display in the first half by the Falcons of Southeast Guilford.
The defense for the Falcons also getting the job done, though they're questionable if the knee was down first or not. Doesn't look like it's really going to play a difference in this one.
No, and still turns into a touchdown there. You see by Best down the field as well. Again, just so well-oiled. Surprisingly so. You don't see a lot of teams that are this crisp early in the season, but the opportunities have been presented, and right now, Southeast Guilford, through the first 6 quarters of their 2025 season, have seized almost every single one of them when they have presented themselves.
207 yards rushing in this one. Just a tremendous, tremendous effort for Southeast. 5 for 5 on 3rd down. 9 rushing first downs. You see, a week ago, 357 yards rushing. A little more in the balanced direction. I won't go balanced, but I will say balanced direction, considering they only had 6 yards of passing last week.
It's evened out a little bit here in this game so far. But again, the 2 passing touchdowns, 1 deep down the field, 1 knocking on the door at the goal line. Those opportunities to make plays in the air when they've come up. So far, Southeast Guilford tonight especially has capitalized. It's resulted in those 2 touchdowns so far. Another long gain as well through the air.
Let's go ahead and send it down to Matthew Gibson. He's standing by with Antoine Stevenson.
Stevenson, your team had a couple of tough breaks in the first half. What was your message to your team at halftime to come back out here and finish strong?
I mean, there's nothing you can do about the first half. We know that we know the mistakes that we made. We can't turn the ball over. So it's just a matter of effort in the second half. Your character will show when you're down 35-0. So I just told the guys, hey, man, there's nothing we can do about the first half. Let's just come out and play in the second half.
Gotcha. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Back to you, Spence.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you catching up with both coaches and both principals during halftime today. Gotta remember, the student athletes still at this level.
Yep.
At this level.
At this level. At this level. Tell you what, Matthew having a busy halftime, huh?
Man, earning that paycheck.
Yeah, man.
You and I were just up here hanging out, and all of a sudden he's like, I got it, guys. Don't worry about it.
Line to line. That halftime break, it's all Matthew Gibson all the time.
We appreciate his efforts down on the sideline. West Forsyth legend down there. Tight and tough. Titans and Grimsley Whirlies going at it tonight.
Pretty tight game there as well. I understand. Last time we had seen a score was 14-10 in favor of the Whirlies, but West was hanging tight.
Listen, that was expected to be a top flight ball game tonight. And we are underway here in half number 2 as the Tigers will begin the first drive of the second half from inside the 30.
Okay. It's, of course, 35-point lead. New rule change in the state of North Carolina. It used to be 42 for a running clock. Now you see that clock is moving now at a 35-point lead going into the second half. So outside of a timeout or a change of possession or a score, that clock will continue to run the rest of the way.
It wasn't stopped very often in the first half anyway.
Well, a lot of running the football.
Stevenson slings it to the outside. He has Barnes. He'll turn upfield. and is able to keep his footing as he's angled out of bounds around the 37. So a nice play to try and get the offense going here in half number 2, and the Tigers decide to open things up and go to the air.
I do think, despite what the score is, if you just look at the way the game has gone for both sides and see the players that are on the field, Ragsdale is not without pieces. They're not without weapons. They've got a lot of guys and a lot of talented guys that just have to learn how to play together and execute at a higher level.
Little shovel pass as Barnes will gain the first down. That will be a Crescent Ford first down for the Tigers. Crescent Ford of High Point serving the Triad since 1970. And if they want to provide each of us with one of those beautiful F-150s, I don't think we would turn them down.
I don't know about the car payment that come along with that, but
I didn't say anything about that.
If they want to keep that, they can. I'm not going to tell them no.
How about this? We can do insurance. We'll do the insurance on it. Let's be fair.
I appreciate your optimistic output on it.
Dice gets the call, and he is ahead to the 45. How about this? Coming into this ball game tonight, Dice, a career 36.7 yards per carry.
Not too bad, is it?
I mean, small sample size.
Sure, but that means he has the ability to take it the distance or go for those long gains. Last week had only 2 carries, 81 yards. So it certainly helps that average yards per carry. But it's a guy that has the ability to take it the distance, no different than Barnes, his backfield mate as well. And Stevenson, you give him enough room as well, he can make it hurt as well. So it's finding that chemistry amongst your guys, not just at your skill positions, but also along the offensive line, building that chemistry together and growing together so when you do get older, you got that experience, you're able to do more. When you have the football in your possession, execute at a higher level.
Well, how about this? A personal foul will send this football into Falcon territory. Stevenson drops back, has time, launches it down the field, and just a little too long as Anthony Washington Jr. was the intended receiver in the end zone.
Love the idea. One-on-one coverage, go give your guy a chance to make a play on that football. Washington was there, but the coverage, step for step, had him walk down to the sideline, no room for Stevenson to squeeze that ball in there, just has to throw it into the end zone and see if Washington could run under it just a little too far for his intended receiver to go get that one. I do like the attack. I like the thought of taking those deep shots, even in this position in the game.
Barnes bounces outside. He gets wrapped up, and that will trickle out of bounds. No harm there on that one. Coming up, we have our Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game in the fourth quarter. Stay tuned to find out who tonight's Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game is. The Carolina Classic Fair, 10 days of awesome. You're going to get yourself a fatback sandwich this year? You're going to go for one of those?
See, I tell you what, maybe.
I'm more of the Krispy Kreme cheeseburger guy.
You know, I still haven't had that in my life. You know what
awesome.
You know what I did though? We did go last year, and I had been introduced to the dill pickle pizza 2 years ago.
Okay.
Let me tell you, when it's fair fresh, good Lord Almighty.
A couple of years ago, I did the deep fried cheesecake. That was solid.
Yeah.
On the stick.
It's incredible how many things they can deep fry now and it doesn't become misshapen. I still, and believe me, I haven't tried to do the research in on it, so don't think any less of me for this. I can't wrap my head around deep fried ice cream.
Oh,
or anything that's deep fried chocolate. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I see the deep fried butter, and I'm like, how?
It's butter.
I mean,
how is it not melting? How is it not just melting within grease? I know it's a flash, but like.
And the hard count trips up the team that was running it. And that will send the Tigers back 5 yards. As you hear the sound effects from the press box here at Bill Slayton Athletic Field.
Backing up. And now see exactly what Stevenson can do with his arm here.
And now Southeast jump. So it looks like we're going to take those 5 yards and march them right back. So coming up in the fourth quarter, we'll highlight tonight's Caring Hands play of the game, Caring Hands Home Health. Put your loved ones in our caring hands. I'll tell you what, these back and forth penalties will probably disqualify a few people from the play of the game.
Huh. Had a couple candidates in the first half for sure.
Stevenson, the deep ball down the sideline, and it's just a tad too short. Intercepted yet again, and here comes Joshua Penn across the field, and he's in to Tiger territory. Joshua Penn having himself an evening.
Cornerback play, tried to take a shot at Penn already on this drive, locks down Washington not just once, but twice, and this time comes up with the interception, plucks the biscuit straight out of the air, high points that football, and then it's the returning of 45 yards down the sideline before cutting back. What a play by Penn along that sideline. Phoenix Fleming chasing down from the backside, but a change of possession, another turnover for this team.
Tonight's game is also being streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook page, sponsored by Tip Top Roofing. Tip Top Roofing, faith, family, football, and roofing. Here comes Jackson. Down the seam and deeper into Tiger territory at the 34. This rushing attack of Southeast continues to exert its dominance. At what point, Mark, if you're Earl Bates, do you start digging a little deeper into your roster, getting your guys out, and letting them get ready for next week?
I would say after this drive, you put a scoring drive together here with your starters. Maybe you get some of those backups in. A little bit of burn, a little bit of experience, but see if your offense can put one more scoring drive together right here.
Jackson cannot be brought down on the first touch. He's at the 28 now. I know we spoke a lot about Micah Martin earlier tonight, but how about Tyler Nichols, the opposite tackle, the right tackle? He has been blocking up a storm.
Well, it's been all five guys, really. I mean, we could go Nichols, Jason Scott, Brian Breland. Like, we could start anywhere. We already talked about Bryce Benton. He had a nice pull that led to a touchdown in the first half as well. So it's not just Micah Martin. He may be the featured piece at that tackled spot, but this is an offensive line that's established, and they play very well together.
Jackson again breaks free and into the red zone. Cook Rentals red zone, renting the smart way to get things done. And stay tuned in the fourth quarter. We'll have our Norris Automotive drive of the game. Norris Automotive for complete foreign and domestic automotive repair, serving Mebane and Burlington.
I think it's so unique when you look at an offense like what Southeast Guilford has. We talked about how it has basically the look of a spread, right? You got your receivers out wide, too tight most of the time. But it's just a variation of the spread. These guys have to block so differently up front, though.
Jackson brings the boom! And he's down to the 10.
But players like that certainly help out with the way they do run because you have two exceptional running backs toting the rock back there. But think about the fact that when you get these run-heavy offenses, usually it's an option, right? Where it's already schemed and designed so that you can at least get short clips. That's not the same here. You're starting in the shotgun every single play and just running the ball.
We've got some laundry on the field. Well, let's take a few steps back now. We're going to date ourselves here.
Oh, boy.
This is a team that 10 years ago was running some wing T.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yep.
like, this is a big shift in offensive philosophy here at Southeast Guilford.
Still a little bit of that DNA, though, right? Like, even if you shift away from that mentality and what you've done before, you still kind of grew up on it. So you kind of carry a little bit of that on your shoulder with you, even at the high school level from 10 years ago, because you remember what those teams were doing when they were in high school.
Graves throws on the run, completes the pass, and the Falcons are in again. It's Davion Webb for his first score of the night.
So here's the next challenge. You have the running ability. You stop that. That's great. You now have to account for Graves because he's shown the ability and the willingness to tote the rock himself tonight. You stop that. That's even better. Guess what? They're now adding a little wrinkles in here and there. The RPO aspect of this offense just gets the ball out there that time. Webb wide open and walks in for the tud.
That's a rent-a-home of the Triad touchdown. Rent-a-home of the Triad where property owners and tenants find their perfect fit. 42-0. Southeast in charge. Graves on the run finds Webb in for 6. Southeast in control on the home field. Stay tuned later in tonight's game as we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus stop when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA, and it's a great reminder considering school went back this week here in Guilford County, and so the school buses are out, the activity buses are out. Just be aware. When that arm is out, that means that a child is walking somewhere near that bus, and just keep your head on a swivel.
No good reason to not stop.
Right, it's going to take you 2 extra minutes to get wherever you need to go. It's worth it.
That applies to a lot of other places as well.
Yeah.
Highway traffic 1.
Southeast Guilford not stopping anytime soon. 26 carries, 242 yards so far on the ground. As Smith will touch the out-of-bounds line, then flip the ball into Kinderman's chest plate. Got it back, and a little extracurricular with a running clock.
You know, it's frustrations obviously on that Ragsdale sideline. Tigers just not really much to hang their hat on tonight, as looks like they are going to be content just to run this one into the fourth quarter.
Oh, the offense trotting out. Don't think they'll get a snap off in time, as my partner just alluded to. They were just going for their 10,000 steps. As we head to the fourth quarter. Southeast Guilford in control. Week 2, Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals presented by Caring Hands Home Health. Right here. Back with you here in Greensboro. The Tigers offense takes the field. Number 7. Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game. We will go ahead and reveal that in just a little bit. 10 Days of Awesome, as well as the Caring Hands Home Health Play of the Game. I got to tell you, it's going to be a little difficult picking up player of the game tonight. Stevenson launches this one down the middle and put a little too much mustard on it. Third time tonight he led Washington just a tad too far.
I'll tell you what, Spencer, personally, I don't know if we've ever had a split player of the night, as in plural players of the night, but it's the beef up front, man.
All 5 of them.
It's the 5 guys. To me, I mean, running backs are spectacular, but you got to have holes to run through, and it's been unrelenting all night long. Those backs on several different occasions have not gotten touched until they get into the secondary.
Give them each a Patriot pretzel. Call it a day.
Yep. Probably take a second one, too. Come on, they're big boys. We know that. I mean that in the most loving way possible.
Listen, at some point the camera's going to come back on us up here in the booth, and it will all make a lot more sense.
Yeah. If you didn't already know.
We've got a timeout on the field taken by Ragsdale.
Oh, man.
We're going to take a break with them. 42-0 Southeast Guilford on top. We're back after this on I-48. Tonight's player of the game, Jaden Graves, the signal caller. He's done it all on the ground, through the air, leading this offense. He spread the love around.
Didn't have to do a whole lot tonight, but it's about making the plays when your number is called. Jaden Graves has been spectacular in his decision-making tonight. Getting the ball out to his receivers on time, on target, and in those timely moments. Just another great example of a guy who is very deserving of that award as our Carolina Classic Fair player of the game. Carolina Classic Fair, 10 days of awesome.
Well, and for that one, I think he owes the 5 guys up front each a fatback sandwich at the fair.
I'll join him. I'll treat him.
Yeah. That one goes behind Dines. He had to turn back, falls backwards. And it's going to put a 4 in the box for the Tigers. Oh, how about this, folks? Scoreboard update from around the region. West Forsyth 17, Grimsley 14. The end of 3 quarters of action. Grimsley has what, won 57 straight regular season games?
It's a lot. It's a lot. And had a heck of a game, a whale of a battle against West Charlotte Bank of America Stadium here on Friday Night Rivals last week. Boy, that would be an absolute message by the Titans at West Forsyth that they're able to pull that one off.
Listen, I know people like to say, oh, got to come through Charlotte, got to come through Raleigh, got to come through this. Right now, you got to come through the triad to play football in the state of North Carolina.
Absolutely.
Period.
It's been proven time and again. A lot by the Whirlies, a lot of other teams so good in this area. We see them almost every single week here on Friday Night Rivals.
Nice punt with a Tiger roll inside the 35 as we take a timeout on the field. Southeast Guilford leading it. We're back. Back with you here in Southeast Guilford. The Falcons with a new signal caller in. Phoenix Fleming, the sophomore, will lead the offense. Motley on the carry. Let me know when you guys are ready to wrap up the play of the game.
33. Even Motley still being out there at this point. Kind of night that he's had.
There's some depth in that running back room.
But getting more guys burned. Talked about this. Getting them those reps, that experience. Never hurts in a situation like this.
The end around. The Tigers able to stand up and shut the door. Webb on the carry. He had a score earlier in this ball game. What do you think about the orange numbers on the back of the helmet for Southeast? You like the design?
I got to tell you, I'm a little bit of a uniform snob.
Okay.
So it's okay. I mean, you don't notice it, so it's kind of, I don't want to say what's the point because it sounds harsh, but it's the principle.
Errant snap rolls under the 15, is corralled by the Falcons as the clock will continue to roll, and this will bring up a very, very, very long 4th down as Joshua Penn now going to have to punt this one away and be awfully careful standing in that end zone.
Mm-hmm. Keep your whereabouts. Make sure you still get a good kick, but be aware of where possible pressure might be coming from backed up like this against that Ragsdale special team unit.
Amari Smith back deep to receive for the Tigers. 10 on the play clock. Now we have a whistle and a timeout. As we go ahead and do the play of the game. It's the Caring Hands play of the game. Caring Hands Home Health. Put your loved ones in our caring hands. Joshua Penn with the INT.
Seemed like the play that really kind of shut the door on any sort of comeback attempt here this evening by the Ragsdale Tigers. Penn tested earlier in this series on a deep route. Didn't allow a completion on that one. Gets the interception here before getting walked down by Derek Sturdivant. But what a play by Mr. Penn down the sideline for your Caring Hands Home Health play of the game.
42-0 Southeast Guilford on top of Ragsdale. Coming up after the ball game, Matthew Gibson will be standing by with the winning team and the head coach Earl Bates. Present the Falcons with their Friday Night Rivals trophy for tonight's victory. 2-0 on the season once this one goes final. Ragsdale 0-2, a tough 2-game road trip to begin the season. We'll head back home to Jamestown, take on Southern Alamance, take on TW Andrews next week. As Smith bobbles it, ball is on the deck, picked up now by the Tigers. It's Washington, and he gets tossed down to the ground. And now some extracurriculars between the Tigers and the Falcons near the southeast sideline as frustration starting to get the best of a few of the players on the field, and we have an injured Falcon on the deck, and now a flag has been thrown in the middle of the field. So the officials will huddle and figure out who will be assessed what. Dale Proctor, our white hat today, has not been a busy man. And it looks like the injured Falcon was Khalil McKee, who's had 2 fumble recoveries tonight. He appears to be okay. Coming up here in just a little bit will be the Norris Automotive Drive of the game. Norris Automotive, family owned and operated, serving Mebane and Burlington since 1963. So, offsetting personal fouls, couple of shoves, keep it moving. 6:30 left in this one. And this is where, as an official, you want to make sure that you keep things under control, get both teams back without anybody getting thrown out for next week. No injuries, just keep it moving.
This is your point where you become an enforcer in the positive sense. A lot of the times, officials are spotlighted when they do something they don't like, a lot like the offensive line. Yeah. But it is one of those instances now where you need to make sure that you control things. And this is an area where you do have the ability to do that. Make sure everyone stays clean, as well as the coaching staffs as well doing their job along the sidelines to quail any angers that might be stoking some flames.
So the Tigers will start this drive from the 46 as Dice, not much room to operate out there. This Southeast Guilford defense, a nice comeback performance this week. Gave up 30 points in the win a week ago. Able tonight so far to pitch a shutout.
I feel it was a great answer. Absolutely fantastic answer to the effort they had. Really good second half last week, but how do you continue to build on momentum? Takeaways tonight's been turnovers. It's been effective defense, stopping the run, locking down the pass. It was really one efficient drive for Ragsdale in the first half of this game. They were able to march the ball down on this defense that ultimately still ended in an interception in the end zone. So that's certainly something to hang your hat on if you are this Southeast Guilford defense moving forward into your season.
It looks like there is a timeout for an injured Tiger on the field, and I believe that Amari Smith might have just been assessed a foul. I'm going to await some clarification on that. Smith just tossed. So Amari Smith issued an unsportsmanlike penalty, and we have an injured Tiger on the field.
Chambers got third down.
No, is that his second unsportsmanlike?
No, I think that's his first.
Dale Proctor having a conversation with the Ragsdale Tigers and just letting them know, fellas, I'm tossing you on the next one.
Yep, keep it clean.
That's exactly what was just said. We're
Keep it
not
clean.
doing this tonight.
Nope.
Look, there are 5 minutes and 31 seconds separating everybody from the end of this game.
Yes, and
you need to go back to Jamestown.
Yep, and you move on.
Reset next week.
Yep.
That is exactly the conversation he just had.
Yep. So they are having that conversation again, controlling the situation as best as possible. The unfortunate part, obviously, the injury as we wait for some updates there. But I think timing-wise, a good opportunity while there's a stoppage for these officials to go and have a conversation with each sideline and let them know, guys, we got 5.5 minutes left. There's no point as they come on over to the southeast sideline as well.
So 42-0, 5:31 to go here in the fourth. Let's take a look at tonight's school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. Always stop for a school bus
This is
when
the
the
school
stop arm
bus
is
stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
result in large fines, points on your license, and license suspension. Paid for by NHTSA.
Xavier Wallace certainly said stop right here. Early on in this game, there were a lot of those moments seemed like maybe some rhythm was building for that Ragsdale side.
Always remember.
And Xavier Wallace able to get the sack there, put a stop to that play, and bring us our NHTSA stop of the game.
And unfortunately, it looks like they're about to bring some crutches out onto the field. And listen, injuries at any time are not what you want to see, but in a game like this, where things have been pretty much decided, you really don't want to see it now. That's your heart just breaks for that.
Yeah. Again, we're pretty positive where this game is going at this point.
Not personally, I've heard the name before.
You don't ever want to see any player, anyone get hurt at any point throughout the course of the game, but certainly in a situation like this where the outcome seems pretty well in hand for one side, and you just don't want to see that sort of situation take place.
Well, as the young man is tended to on the field, Mark, it gives us an opportunity to talk about the next few weeks for this Tiger bunch. I mean, they're young. We mentioned there is talent on this team. There has been talent that has roamed the Tiger sidelines before. You think of Tony Baker, over 10,000 yards, 131 touchdowns, a Shrine Bowler, U.S. Army All-American back in the day. This Tiger team knows what success looks like. Now it's up to Antoine Stevenson and his staff to develop these young men and give them a shot.
Yeah, and that's really what it is right now. Again, you have so much youth along this team that you want to be able to continue to build. And there's going to be a lot of growing pains, a lot of aches and pains, bruises and bumps. You've got to be able to put your guys in the best position to succeed, regardless of whether you're up by 30 or you're down by 30. You've got to make sure that your guys are ready. It's going to take time. But Antoine Stevenson is a coach. He has a coaching staff that know how to build a program, get guys not just to the next level, but prepare them not just as football players, but as young men. That I know, you go to anywhere really in the country, any high school football team, they'll tell you that. But there's a lot of guys out there that are adept with building guys and getting them ready for the next level of the sport and in the next phase of life. I think Antoine Stevenson, over the times that I know certainly I've talked to him over the years, has certainly expressed that, and you get that from him, that he's a developer of not just football players, but a developer of young men as well.
For sure, 100%. And now for Southeast, this is a program that not that long ago made an appearance in a state championship game. Back in 2018, finished 14-2, lost to Weddington in that 3A state championship game. It's interesting. That team was not full of Division I players. Had a couple.
Yep.
But they were really just a strong team.
The strong teams are the ones that make it to the end. The best teams are the ones that make it to the end. I mean, you can talk about all the Division I prospects or all the college prospects in general across your roster. If you don't have the right pieces to the puzzle, that doesn't matter. And that's usually what happens. Southeast Guilford is a team, as you know, Spencer, that is still searching to get back to that point. But right now, to the first, again, almost 8 quarters of their season right now, they've done an excellent job of positioning themselves where you throw on the tape, and as an opponent, you're sitting there thinking, we got to take them seriously every single down. Because right now, they are running an offense that is a freight train and a defense that's able to generate turnovers in bunches.
Well, as the young man is tended to out on the field, they have brought the cart out to help get him some more treatment. Next game here for Friday night rivals, it's a good one. Reedsville, Reagan. Next Friday night, 7:30 from Pofftown, right here on My 48. Mark, you'll be on the call with Evan.
Can't wait for that one, bud. Yeah, Reedsville program you're very familiar with.
Yep.
Of course, up there, the football capital of North Carolina, as they like to say. Very well warranted as well. And talking about college prospects littered throughout in that one, led by 5-star Oregon recruit
Kendra Harrison.
Well,
we had the call game together where Kendra was,
at
freshman?
Reedsville. Yeah. Took a quick little detour down to Charlotte, I believe down to Providence Day for about half a season. Came back up to Reedsville, so back to his old stomping grounds. But be excited, and a lot of pieces coming back for Reagan as well. Their quarterback, Jacob Smith, an absolute dynamo when he's been healthy. Had to leave early on in the season last year with an injury, but now back. And the reports so far out of Reagan, pretty good, pretty promising. You got to think we're in for a barn burner next week in Pofftown.
Josh McGee, one of the top coaches in the area.
Yep.
Winston-Salem State star quarterback back in the day.
I'll tell you what, Josh McGee's a character, man.
You could say that about most coaches in this region. All right. especially someone that fills in for you. Former head coach over at West Forsyth, Adrian Snow.
Very admirably at that.
For a couple of games.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was just a stand-up comic that happened to coach a couple of football games every year. And while we're in the middle of our medical timeout, a good time to remind you that here on My 48, obviously we have all the high school games, but also a bunch of college action here as well. You can catch North Carolina A&T football right here on My 48 this fall. 5 of A&T's 6 home games will be broadcast on Saturdays right here on My 48. I'll be on the call with Damian Banks from the east side of Greensboro. Now would be also a great time for us to go ahead and reveal our Nordis Automotive Drive of the game. As the Falcons able to come up with the fumble and then rumble in for 6 on the other end of the field. Getting it done on defense, on the ground, through the air. Best in for 6. Graves, our player of the game. And how about that block on the outside by Micah Martin?
Micah Martin's going to put that one on the highlight tape. I promise you, you go to any huddle, any highlight tape of Micah Martin going forward, and that block right out there is going to be on his tape. Rightfully so. Look, man, you get a chance as a lineman to go out on a screen. You got one-on-one spot with a DB. Any coaching staff in America is going to be disappointed if you didn't absolutely decleat him.
And it looks like the injured Tiger is now up and being helped off the field. It is Grayson Carlisle, the sophomore. And unfortunately, it looks like his night is done. Oh, excuse me. Cameron Reinhardt. Southeast players coming over to wish him well.
Love that, man.
Appears to be in about as good a spirits as he can be given the situation, but he's got the air cast on, and they don't put those on unless it's for real.
Yep. Of course, we wish him all the best going forward, but love to see, especially after the tempers had flared here in the last little bit of this football game. Excellent seeing those players for the Southeast Guilford Falcons go over, check in on them. Best wishes. Love to see that sort of sportsmanship at the sport.
And now the tough part for both squads is continuing the game after watching one of your teammates or your opponents go down like that, and after a long break.
You got to think we're brought back. It's now 3rd and almost a mile coming back into it.
The clock will start running yet again once we get underway. But the first A&T game here on My 48, Saturday the 13th, Hampton A&T, 7 p.m. under the lights on My 48. Tigers keep this one on the ground. Quick whistle. Demetrius Kersey on the carry. Wallace on the stop. Gives his little Fortnite dance.
Wallace having a little bit of fun. Had the stop of the game, as you saw earlier, so certainly cause for celebration on his side. Another stop that time. And he'll watch this Southeast Guilford offense trot back on the field after this punt.
Klutz with a nice punt end over end. It will take a Tiger roll. And will get down around the 23-yard line. So Guilford will trot back out on offense with an opportunity to wrap this thing up and pitch a shutout on the home field this evening.
I think for Southeast, moving forward, you get Southern Alamance next week, R.J. Reynolds. After that, and then a trip to Antoine Stevenson's old stopping grounds at Glenn.
I mean, I'll tell you what, with realignment, this is a much more manageable
How
conference.
much has it helped Southeast?
Unbelievable.
We were here last year seeing them play Grimsley. Oh.
Motley on the inadvertent direct snap.
But it was a much different game here last year for Southeast Guilford against that machine out of the heart of Greensboro and the Grimsley Whirlies. Now, shoes on the other foot tonight. Dominant performance, and they don't see the Whirlies at all. The entire classification lower, 6A. Grimsley at that 7A spot, who also, as we got an update, are now at 24-17 over West Forsyth.
You knew that was going to be a great ball game.
Oh, 100%. And West, a lot of people start thinking, well, is it Grimsley? No, it's West, man. I mean, West Forsyth has as much talent as anyone in the area. A couple transfers in, a lot of returning West. They are over in Clemens.
The Village.
The Village, baby.
I mean, you think about some of these matchups coming up next week. Grimsley, East Forsyth. I mean, what about that gauntlet to start the season for the Whirlies?
It's almost interesting because you're so used to seeing a lot of these teams in the area, especially within the Winston-Salem area, they're conference foes. East, West, Reagan, Mount Tabor. I mean, a lot of those teams that we see often enough. And they're so good. Those contests usually are. But now with realignment, it's almost like you're getting a lot of those out-of-conference games that you didn't before. Grimsley, West Charlotte. We get, again, Reagan, Reedsville next week. That's going to be a highly competitive game. Now you're getting a lot of these teams just playing each other that may not normally square off until postseason. And now you're getting regular season time. That's beautiful.
Now there can't be any discussion on, they cakewalk through the year.
Yep.
Is that, I mean, you know, we're going to get some big-time matchups.
100%. 100%. Love to see it. I know there's been a lot of consternation over the landscape of everything with just having realignment yet again, what that means for everyone going forward. And some of the conferences, admittedly, are a little wonky. You know, you can't please everyone within the process, but it's interesting to see how everything kind of unfolds, and you always want to check back in throughout the course of the season to see where heads are at that point. There's a lot of time to really think about it, things to play out, and maybe you weren't in favor of it going in, and all of a sudden, the way things played out, it worked in your favor, and you like it a little bit more.
There was some contact with Penn, the punter. Doesn't look like any laundry on the field.
Just letting it roll.
And it appears that everybody is about to head on home. Ragsdale, chance to regroup with the homestand. Falcons flying high. About to finish this one off 40-0.
Really was interested to see how Southeast Guilford would respond. That explosion in the second half last week, putting up 38 points to run away with that game in a 52-point effort. How would they follow up that one? Defensively, would they find themselves back on track? All of the answers to every single question you had, if you had concerns for these Falcons of Southeast Guilford, have been answered with an emphatic yes tonight. They were terrific.
And that will do it. The Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals, presented by Caring Hands Home Health. Southeast Guilford Falcons 42. Ragsdale Tigers, nothing. performance tonight for Southeast Guilford. It started early as Caleb Jackson able to find pay dirt. Graves keeps it himself. He was phenomenal tonight. I mean, the Falcons on the ground, through the air, just got the job done.
Yeah, normally don't talk about Falcons on the ground a whole lot, but these Falcons are a little lower flying than others, and they were all over the place tonight. Rushing the football, we knew that they were going to be prolific, but it was the air attack tonight, catching everyone off guard. A couple of touchdown passes for Graves. Able to get out there. What a job offensively by the Falcons.
Let's go ahead and send it down to the field. Matthew Gibson standing by with the winning squad.
Coach Bates, your team rushed for over 250 yards on the ground. What was the key to that dominating run game?
Always starts up front. And again, the other good thing about tonight, the defense got off the field and gave us other opportunities.
42-0, this is a statement win for your team. Beyond the scoreboard, what does this tell you about where your team is right now and where you're headed this season?
Well, the sky's the limit with these guys. You know, if we stay focused, we feel like we can be in every game on our schedule, and we feel good about our opponents, but it's week to week.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on your win. Celebrate with your team. Yeah. Back to you.
The Falcons celebrating this well-earned trophy. Just a tremendous showing by Southeast Guilford on the home field. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors who make these games possible. We'd also like to thank Capital Metals and High Point for providing the trophy in tonight's game, Cook Rentals for those high end zone views, the Mountain Fried Chicken for providing our crew with a meal, and Patriot Pretzel for providing the pretzels in tonight's halftime pretzel stacking contest. And finally, thank you to tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their support of our Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals broadcast. Next game, join us 7:30 p.m. Friday night, September 5th, as the Reedsville Rams travel to Pofftown to take on the Reagan Raiders right here on My 48 Sports. For Matthew Gibson and Mark Culver, I'm Spencer Turkin saying so long from Greensboro. Southeast Guilford 42, Ragsdale nothing. You've been watching the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals, presented by Caring Hands Home Health on My 48. Good night.